Hi, Eric Wilson here, independent licensed mechanic with 30 years of experience. In the next 6 to 7 minutes, I'm going to show you the inside story in this 2012 Chrysler 200 so you can make yourself an informed decision. Now, coming in on the front left tire, you got about 30% tread on all season radios, down but not out. Coming behind the front left tire, first thing I want to point out is the brakes. You've got about 15,000 K left on the brakes. Down a little bit, but definitely not out. And this is your lower ball joint here. Now, this is the left lower ball joint, and it is tight, critical, because it's one of the things that hold the wheel to the chassis. Now, you see this rubber boot here? This rubber boot is full of grease, and they're called the outer CV, and it's important. If it was ripped, there'd be grease all over the place, and it's important it's not, because it keeps the axle lubricated, which keeps you going forward. Now, this right here is this is your left sway bar link, and that's important because it's part of the suspension, and it's connected and doing its job. Now, this is your left outer tie rod, and this is the most important thing in the whole car because it's the only thing that holds the wheel to the steering, and it is tight. Now, this here, if you see this tube right here, follow it down. This tube is full of oil, and this is the shock. Now, if it was leaking, you'd see it dripping all the way down here. This is part of your sway bar link connector right there. This here is your inner CV boot. See for yourself, good and dry. Now, more importantly, behind it, if it was leaking, you'd see oil all inside there, and that is good and dry, which is great because nobody wants oil on their driveway. Here's your left front suspension. If you follow it up, no cracks, no breaks. More importantly, no leaks, because if it was leaking, it would leak right here, and that is good and dry. Okay, coming to the left rear tire, you've got about 15,000 K on the rear brakes. It's about the same amount at the back as you have in the front. On the your rear left tire, you got about 40% tread, a little bit more tread on the rear than you have on the front. Now, this is the rear suspension right here. Again, inside here, this tube, if it's full of oil, if it was leaking, you see it dripping all the way down here, good and dry. More importantly, the spring suspension there, intact, doing its job. The sway bar link, your left sway bar link, connected from here to here, doing exactly what it needs to do. All your exhaust is good, intact. I don't see any cracks or breaks. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything, have any concern so far. Now, on the front right here, okay, I believe what this car's taking a hit in the front because this is sprung right here, and this bumper, this hood here is just a little bit sprung. Yeah, I'm positive it's taken a bump in the front here. Okay, about 40 to 50% tread on all season radios on the front right. Your outer CV boot, good and dry. Your lower ball joint there, good and tight. Front brakes, about 15,000 K. Your inner CV boot, a little harder to see right there. Inner CV boot, good and dry. Bottom of the motor, okay, good and dry. I don't see any oil leaks in this thing whatsoever, which is good. Yeah, so far so good on that. Okay, on the right shock, again, the important thing is that it's dry in here, because if it was leaking, would leak, you'd see it all in here, and it's good and dry. The spring suspension, good, intact, doing its job. This part here is all repairable. It just has to be pulled up and put back into place again. The right outer tie rod, critical, and it is intact and doing its job and tight. The right sway bar link connected from here up to here is intact, doing its job. Again, I'm not seeing anything of concern on the right front side. Okay, the right rear side, again, about 40% tread on all season radios. The right rear suspension, follow it up, good and dry. Spring suspension, no tracks, no brakes. 15,000 K on your rear brakes, both same as the front. Your sway bar link connected from here right here to here. Yeah, so no concern so far mechanically. Okay, you're going to need a set of windshield wipers, 100%. Okay, you hear that noise? Okay, that means I have to change up it's a little plastic gearbox inside of the under the dash here for that noise to go away, and that's about a $250 job. You've got a check engine light here as well, and that's about a $400 job, all said and done. And in addition to that, you're also going to need a battery as well. So that's another couple $100. So you probably got about roughly $800, $800 to $900 worth of work on this car for this to be really fit for the road. Now, the motor, I did not find any issues with the motor at all, and I'm not surprised because it's not even 100,000 K in this motor, so you're definitely got a good mechanical running motor here. Other than those issues that I've pointed out, this is, to me, definitely worth putting some money into because it's got a lot of K left on it. Now, hopefully you can just make an informed decision with this. Now, if this is not what you're looking for, by all means, let me know, because I'm prepared to do a tech video on any vehicle you want, and I have access to literally hundreds. Let me know what you want. I'll not only find it, but I'll give you this tech video showing you the inside story so you can make an informed decision. And most of all, just buy safe with Eric. Have a good one.